For more, let's bring in former federal prosecutor and former Trump attorney Jim Trusty. Jim, thanks for joining us.
Sure, good to see you.
You heard Senator Van Hollen there, and he's been at the forefront of this, and he's making the argument we're not vouching for Abrego Garcia, the guy, we're vouching for his due process rights. But do you think with all of these allegations that have come out, that effort is now losing steam?
I think it is really on both tracks. I mean, the political track, it's been devastating to sit there and, wrap your arms around this guy and then hear recordings where his wife talks about multiple assaults, including waking up at 3 a.m. and just slapping her for no reason. I mean, he's no angel. That seems to be pretty clear from that recording. The Tennessee story seems to be more of a human smuggling, and I question who exactly those people are he brought. Maybe they're just workers coming into the U.S. through Texas. They could also be people in MS-13 for all we know. So there's a lot of bad facts starting to trickle out. But procedurally, the worst thing here is, for the Van Hollens of the world, is that he was ordered removed and was given a withholding of that. Once you're designated part of a foreign terrorist organization, your due process is done. That permission slip is revoked. And so I don't think there's really any hearing that's really left for this guy since he was ordered deported, found to be a gang member. The only error here remains the one of sending him to the one place he couldn't go because of his gang membership, El Salvador.
And so now when the Supreme Court says you got to facilitate his return, should the White House at the very least make a phone call? I mean, the administration is demanding things of countries all over the world. They can make a phone call to El Salvador,
right.
No?
And clearly there's some sort of contractual or some sort of relationship with El Salvador for them to volunteer to take some of these deportees. But, I think the use of the word facilitate by the Supreme Court was actually trying to ratchet back where the district court was in Maryland. The district court was saying, I want him back this weekend. That has slid into kind of an equipoise. And we have the Supreme Court saying, well, they should make an effort to facilitate. I would argue, if you're President Trump's lawyers, hey, we already made a run. We talked to him right there on national TV, and he said he can't do it. And then, of course, the great mystery to me is what happens if he says, OK, President of El Salvador, Bukele, says, I'm going to send him to Guatemala. What do you think now? I think that actually moots the legal issues that are in Maryland and perhaps answers the whole question without getting to a Supreme Court ruling.
Now, you look at that traffic stop, and we don't know anything about the people in that car. We know about him just through other news reports and court documents, but we don't know who was with him. We don't know what they were doing, but there were some suspicions. Do you think that the Tennessee Highway Patrol acted appropriately here, or do troopers see this kind of stuff all the time?
It might be a little bit of both. They might be numb to it from seeing it all the time. These are highway patrol officers. They're not there to be gang investigators. But I thought it was kind of amazing that they were so focused on the fact there's 8 guys in this car, but they didn't spend any time identifying, at least what I saw on recording, didn't identify who those people are, find out if they're legal or illegal. Again, they might be hamstrung with all sorts of policies within their department, but there was kind of a lack of curiosity and more curiosity about how many people could be stacked in a car than what they were doing.
Now, turning to this ruling now out of the Southern District of Texas, a Trump administration, a Trump-appointed judge has basically said you can't use the Alien Enemies Act to deport a number of Venezuelans from that area. What are the consequences of that ruling?
Right. Well, the Alien Enemies Act, the part that he focused on was essentially this idea of an invasion. We're obviously not at war with the nation of Venezuela. He looked at all the instances where a president has used this act. It's War of 1812, World War I, World War II, or post-World War II, and said, that requires military action or a military response. I'm not seeing that here. It was a respectful, well-written 36-page opinion. He teed it up for the Fifth Circuit to handle it on appeal. But it's really not the end of the world because it just says this is an avenue I'm not comfortable with, according to this judge, for the following reasons. And it still allows for typical immigration removal proceedings. So I don't think anybody should be worried that this means suddenly coming to your neighborhood is Tren de Aragua because they're going to be cut free. It's just that mechanism of fast tracking has been slowed down a little bit under the regular immigration rules.
And notable that he just put this for his district. This isn't a nationwide ruling.
That's, more than a silver lining. We've been seeing these judges that just make pronouncements that, they have a conflict in front of them, parties in front of them, and they say this applies to the entire United States. And that's what really has drawn the ire of the White House. Like, who are you to suddenly be president? I think that's a great fight to be in. I think it's a great fight for the Supreme Court to resolve someday. And this judge, quite respectfully and quite legitimately, said, hey, I'm affecting the people in front of me. Southern District of Texas only. I'm not trying to propose a nationwide injunction. So that's a break from the trend we've been seeing.
All right, Jim Trusty, thanks for joining us.
Sure, good to see you.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.